Hello kids, Firefighter Jason here from Brunswick Fire. So it's that time of year again that we start talking about fire safety. Today we're going to be talking about exit drills in the home. So what does that mean? That means we practice the ways to exit our home safely in case we have an emergency in the home. A lot of times we will practice exits from the bedrooms of a home, because if we're sleeping at night, it's the time where we least expect an emergency to happen and we're the least prepared. Now, I know to talk about fires in your home is kind of a scary subject, but the way I look at it is if you've practiced these exits and you know what to do, it's less scary. So a few things are very important about where we live and sleep in our home. For instance, a bedroom should have a couple things in place. Ideally, a bedroom has a working window and a working door. We always want to sleep at night with our bedroom door closed. A very important part of exit drills in the home is to make sure all our smoke alarms are properly working. That means checking the batteries and testing them. The smoke alarm is the first step in alerting us that there is an emergency, a fire emergency in our home. An important part of exit drills in the home is first knowing all the exits we have from each room, and secondly, we need to have a meeting place outside the home where we can all meet as a family and account that everybody is there. So if you are sleeping and you wake up and you hear a smoke alarm and you smell smoke and you suspect that there is a possible fire in your house, your number one job is to safely get out of your house, and the second most important job is to go to that meeting place. A lot of times families will use maybe the mailbox in the front yard or the shrub or the tree, something out in the front yard where everybody's visible and you can be there waiting for the rest of your family. And when the firefighters show up, that way you're also front and center so you can tell them any information that they could use. Like for instance, if there are any pets in the home or if anybody else is still in the house. So a few important things to remember. If you were to wake up and think there is a fire emergency in your house, and you know your number one job is to get outside. Your number two job is to get to your meeting place. So as you exit your room, the first thing you want to do is check the door for heat. We don't want to open a door without knowing what's on the other side. So how do we check a door for heat? Well, you use the back of your hand. And a lot of times I tell people, don't just quickly check the door in one place. Check the door up high, in the middle, down low, maybe check the actual door knob. If it's hot, we don't open it. If it's normal temperature, cool, then we open it slowly. Now, the best way for you to exit your home is your primary exit. Sometimes you'll have two exits from a room, but your primary exit is the normal way that you get in and out of your house to your bedroom every day. So maybe down the hall, down the stairs, out the door. So the best way, your first attempt should be to use your primary exit to get out of the house to your meeting place. So you start down the hall, let's say, and you encounter smoke. Well, we don't want to walk through that smoke. We don't want to breathe in that smoke because that's harmful to our lungs. So the best way we can deal with that is get low and go. So we get low and crawl under the smoke. Now, I know that most of you kids out there, if I asked you if you could crawl out of your house as fast as you walk, I bet you could. So that's the best way to do that, is if you encounter smoke, get low and go. Now, the best thing you can do is get out to the meeting place and stay there. You don't go back into the house. If your cat or dog or family member is still inside the house, you do not go back in. you stay at your meeting place. Okay, so let's talk about what you do if you're trying to exit your room. And the door, you check the door for heat and it's hot. We know that we do not open it. So one thing that we can do to help keep our room safe, and this is a thing called shelter in place. So you know now that you can't open the door, you can't go out your primary exit. So you have to shelter in place. The best thing you can do is stay safely in your room and go to your window and get the attention of somebody outside. But first, one thing that you can do is take any clothing like blankets or sweatshirts or even a pillow and block up the bottom of the door. This will prevent smoke from coming underneath the door and filling the room full of smoke. So you find a pillow, blanket, sweatshirt, you block it up, you push it real tight against the bottom of the door until you feel that it is completely blocked. The next thing you would do is go to your window. And this is why it's very important that there is a window in your bedroom. And at that point, you can open the window, push out the screen if you can, and then you can get the attention of somebody outside. Now, who could be outside? Well, hopefully the firefighters or other family members. What are some ways that we could get their attention? Now, I've had suggestions in the past, like a kid told me that he has a flashlight in his room. So possibly we could use a flashlight to shine outside to get somebody's attention. The other thing we could do is maybe take blankets or pillows or something in the room and throw them out the window. We definitely want to use only things that are soft because we don't want to hurt anybody. But that way, if a firefighter is walking out around the house looking for anybody that's in the house, he comes across blankets and pillows in the yard, it's going to give him a good indication that there may be somebody in the window above. The other thing we can do is holler, right? And we've talked about this in the past. We can just yell, you know, help, or what's something else we can yell? I always say, free pizza. It's going to get my attention every time, right? So that's what it means to shelter in place. It's to stay in your room, make your room as safe as possible, and try to get the attention of somebody outside. That way, you can be rescued out the window. Now, somebody once asked me, well, I have my bedroom is on the first floor. Well, like I said, your number one job is to safely get out of the house. If you could safely get out your window and onto the lawn and get to your meeting place, then that's fine. But a lot of times, bedrooms are on the second floor. So would it be a good idea to jump out of the window? No, because it really wouldn't be a safe option, right? So the best thing you can do is get to your window, get the attention of people outside. Now let's talk about the scenario that you can open your door because it's not hot, but your primary exit is blocked. So first, is there a second exit? Sometimes houses have a second way out of the house that may work, where you would be walking away from smoke or fire. So in that case, you would use your second exit. But now let's talk about if you got out into the hall and you get blocked by smoke or fire and you realize you can't get out of the house. What's the best thing you can do? Just what we talked about. You would go back to your room, close the door, block up the bottom of the door, go to a window, open the window, push out the screen, and get the attention of people outside. All right, I want to talk real quick about why it is a good policy to sleep with your bedroom door closed. Your door to your bedroom is actually a great barrier to protect you from smoke and fire. So if a fire was to start, if you have your bedroom door closed, it's going to help prevent smoke from getting into your room while you're still sleeping or just waking up because of the alarms. Okay, so some of you may know that this is a time of year we change our clocks back. It's also a good time, while we're changing our clocks back, to check the batteries in our smoke alarms. This can be a family activity, and the best thing to do is check all the smoke alarms. We should have a smoke alarm on every floor of our house, and we should also have one close to the door of every bedroom. So this way we can, as a family, check the batteries, and make sure the smoke alarms are all working properly, so that way they will alert us immediately if a fire is to start inside our home. So, oh, hey kids, so look who it is. It's Sparky. How you doing, Sparky? Good. What you got there? Oh, it looks like you got the mailbag. Okay, so Sparky's got some mail questions from some of you kids out there at school. So, what you got there? We'll read a few of the questions. Sound good? All right, let's see. Okay, to Firefighter Jason. Okay, this question is from Pat. And Pat asks, what if my cat, dog, or baby sister or brother is still in the house? Okay, well, if that happened and you were trying to get out of your house, is it your job to go back into the house and save your cat or dog or sister or brother? Sparky says no. Actually, whose job is it to go save anybody that's still in the house? Yeah, us firefighters, right? So yeah, the answer to your question is you do not go back into your house, you stay at your meeting place, right? And then if you're out there at your meeting place and the firefighters show up, you can tell them, hey, my dog or my cat or my brother is still in the house and I think they're probably on the first floor or second floor, and you can give us that information because we're trained very well to go into a house. We have all sorts of tools and protective gear that helps us go in and rescue somebody that's still in the house, okay? All right, thank you for your question, Pat, and we'll see what else we have. All right, let's see. Okay, to Firefighter Jason from Jamie. Okay, so Jamie asks, what do I do if I don't have a bedroom door? Okay, that's a great question, Jamie. So, in fact, that's one of the reasons I do this training every year at the beginning of the year, because this is a great time to take care of problems like if you don't have a door on your bedroom, or if the window that is in your bedroom doesn't open properly. This is a great time for you and your family to fix some of these problems to get prepared for the upcoming year, okay? So again, great question. Thank you, Jamie. So what do we got? We got another one? Oh, we got one more. Okay, great. All right, to Firefighter Jason. This one comes from John. So John asks, can I grab my coat or toy when I'm leaving the house? Okay, that's a great question. So my answer to that is, if you could grab your coat on the way out and it's not going to take extra time and it's not going to keep you from getting out of the house, I think that's fine because, for one, when you go outside, it could help keep you warm. But the whole point is I don't want to see any of you, if you're ever in a situation like that, hunting for a coat or a toy and taking extra time. Because remember, what did I say? Your number one job is to what? It's to get safely out of the house. Your number two job is to get to your meeting place, okay? But thanks for all the question, kids. And is that all for now, Sparky? Okay, great. Well, thanks for bringing the mail to me. I appreciate it. Okay. And we'll see you next month, okay?